Hey friends, in the last 100 years, if there's one event that has made the most impact on the human mind, it is the moon landing of Apollo 11. On 20th July 1969, for the first time, humans set foot on a different celestial body. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first people to walk on the moon. But even after more than 50 years, there are millions of people who believe that this moon landing was a big fraud, that it was all shot in a Hollywood studio, that America faked it to win the space race against the Soviet Union. Today, we will talk about the various conspiracy theories about the moon landing, and using science and logic, we will try to find out what is the truth. Let's start with the most popular argument, the flag. When you see the videos of the moon landing, the American flag appears to be fluttering and waving as if there is wind. But friends, the answer is actually quite simple. If you look closely, the flag is not actually waving. It appears to be moving only when the astronauts are planting it. They are twisting it back and forth to dig it into the lunar soil. Because of the low gravity on the moon, this movement continues for a bit longer, making it look like it's waving. Once they let go, the flag becomes still. It doesn't wave after that. Secondly, the flag had a horizontal rod to keep it extended and wrinkled. It was designed to look like it's waving in the wind, because a flat flag would look odd and unnatural in photographs, so NASA intentionally gave it that wavy look. The second argument is about the photographs. Conspiracy theorists say that the shadows in the moon landing photos are not parallel. They say that if the sun is the only source of light, the shadows should be parallel. The fact that they are not proves that there were multiple light sources, like studio lights. But friends, this is a misunderstanding of basic physics. The sun's light rays are parallel, but they fall on a non-flat surface. The moon's surface is uneven, with slopes and craters. When parallel light falls on an uneven surface, the angles of the shadows will naturally be different. It's a matter of perspective. The third argument is that you cannot see any stars in the background of the photographs. Why are there no stars? The reason is the camera settings. The lunar surface is very bright because of the sunlight. The astronaut suits are also very bright. To capture these bright objects clearly, the cameras used a fast shutter speed and a small aperture. This means very little light was let into the camera. The stars are very faint objects. Their light was too weak to be captured with those camera settings. It's the same reason you can't see stars from space in most photographs of the International Space Station. The fourth argument is about the footprint. How can there be such a perfect, clear footprint on the moon? when there is no moisture? On Earth, footprints hold their shape because of water. On the moon, without water, it should not be possible. The lunar soil, called regolith, is very different from sand on Earth. It's made of fine, jagged, glassy particles that have been shattered by meteorite impacts over billions of years. These particles lock together and can hold a shape very well in the absence of water and air. So a perfect footprint is exactly what you would expect on the moon. Now, the most interesting argument for me is the Van Allen radiation belts. These are zones of intense radiation surrounding the Earth. Conspiracy theorists say that no human could have passed through these deadly belts and survived. It is true that the Van Allen belts are dangerous, but NASA scientists were aware of this. The Apollo spacecrafts took a specific path to minimize the time spent in the most intense parts of the belts. They passed through them in about an hour, and the spacecraft's hull provided sufficient shielding to protect the astronauts. The radiation dose they received was about 1 to 2 rads, which is equivalent to a medical CT scan. It was well within safe limits, and they were monitored for health effects their whole lives. Lastly, if it was faked, it would have been impossible to keep it a secret. More than 400,000 people worked on the Apollo project for nearly a decade. Do you really think not a single person would have confessed by now? The Soviet Union, America's biggest rival, was monitoring every signal. They would have been the first to expose a fake. But they didn't. In fact, they congratulated America and even tracked the mission with their own instruments. So, friends, after looking at all the evidence, it is clear that the moon landing was not a hoax. It was one of the greatest achievements in human history. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please share it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.